Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Is this Tuesday? Yeah. Happy Tuesday. Give you time to come on in. Hey, everybody. Welcome. Kerry Pope here. And when what you want doesn't want you. It's going to be a great subject today. And notice I said what and not who. Because I'm not talking about individuals today as more than I'm talking about the things in life that you want that's not part of God's will. So give time for the audience to build. Hope you're doing well today. Sitting here working for Odyssey Black, working the airport today. And so I said, well, guess what? While I'm waiting, why not come online and share this thought when what you want doesn't want you? And so if you're coming on, say hello to me so I know you're in today. Let me know how you're doing. So as I share this with you, some of you may watch it in replay. I know a lot of people are working currently, and so you'll catch it in replay. And so if someone can just let me know, hey, Patient, can you hear your daddy okay? Hey, sweetheart, is your daddy coming through loud and clear? Let me know. And I'm getting ready to share this when what you want doesn't want you. And I think it's going to be helpful, what God has shared with me to give to you. I think it's going to be a blessing for you to hear. And because a lot of times we have spent most of our lives chasing after things that God doesn't want us to chase after. Hey, Marquita, God bless you. And so she said, all right, looking good. All right, I like the way that sounds. I like the way that sounds. So let me let Aaron here is a little hot. So when what you want doesn't want you, as I've gotten older in life, and I began to really analyze the things that I've gained and lost over the years, I'm now coming into a place of life where I'm really happy with what God wants for me. You know, a lot of times we can chase things that we want that God never intended for us to have. Sometimes we can try to do things and start companies or start businesses or get in relationships or take on friends that God never intended, but we have a tendency to do it because it's what we want. But what about when what you want doesn't want you? When God is putting red flags in front of you, when God is putting up stop signs and stopping you and not letting things come to fruition, and we get frustrated and we go even harder to try to make something happen. And God is saying, listen, if you trust me, I'm putting these stop signs in front of you so that you can stop for the traffic that you can't see that's going. If you ever come to a road and, hey, Trish, so glad to have you. I'm glad it's your first time. Thank you, love, for joining me. When you go to a stop sign, right, you don't know what's coming. What's up, Bakari? How you doing, my brother? Good to see you. Bakari. I'm going to get you right, bro. I think it's Bakari. I think I got it right. God bless you, brother. I always call you big my brother, so you own it. I'm glad you and your queen had that vacation, man. You guys look great. But when you want something that doesn't want you, it makes you go harder after it, right? It makes you go harder to get that thing that God is stopping you from going after. And it's something inside of us that says, I want what I can't have, and I don't want that which I can have. We have something inside of us to chase after things that we don't, God doesn't want for us to have, or that God is saying no to. Some of you right now, if you be honest, the thing that God is saying yes to in your life, you don't want it. I don't know why we have this mentality that we want what we can't have, and what we can have, we don't want. But God is saying when you're chasing after something that doesn't want you, all you're doing is wasting precious time. If I could turn back the hands of time and undo the things that come to mind, I promise you, there's a lot of things I went after and I gave attention to and that I chased that really didn't want me, that I wanted so badly to prove whatever point that was, that I accomplished it. And let me say something to everybody. I don't want y'all to hear me. Stop blaming the devil and thinking that the devil is behind everything that God is blocking. You might just be the devil chasing after that which God is trying to protect you from. It could be a job. It could be a career. It could be anything, not just relationship, but anything. Because God is a God of flow. God is a God of ease. Okay, I want y'all to hear that. God is a God of flow. When God is behind something and it's God's will for your life, it flows. Even if it flows out of something bad, it still flows. Many times we think that because it's something great, that it's the will of God. And when it's something bad, that is the enemy. No, that's the way remember I said a few weeks ago, my ways are not your ways and my thoughts are not your thoughts. Meaning that what you think is bad for you is actually great for you. And that what you think is good for you could be the very demise of you. When you want that doesn't want you, your ego and pride makes you go after it harder just to prove that no weapon formed against me shall prosper. But what if you're the weapon that's forming against your own self? What if you're the weapon that has been weaponized through your ego to go out here after something that God is trying to block away from you? Many of you watching me right now, and we'll watch it in replay, can honestly say, Kerry, I have chased after things that didn't want me. And it's this whole thing about the harder something doesn't want you, the harder you go after it. I want to say this to those of you that may be relationship-wise, and you're chasing after somebody in a relationship that is not uncatchable. That every time you try to catch them, they make you go harder to chase after them. It's the art of the chase. You get to a certain age in life where you ain't about to chase nobody. You like, look, either God's going to do this or it ain't going to be done. And some of you have been chasing after things that God is saying no to. God is blocked. Some of you are chasing after things that God is saying, let it be. And you're chasing. And so that's this book I'm reading, I have read in the past, and they talk about the cage bird syndrome. The cage bird syndrome. Hey, Ellen, God bless you. And so the cage bird syndrome talks about the bird that's always in the cage, but he can't get out. And he's looking at all the things that they're going to do if that door ever comes open. I'm going to fly higher than I've ever flown before. I'm going to do things. I'm going to go places because the bird is trapped. And the bird feels like, if I didn't have this relationship, if I didn't have this job, if I didn't have this, because what you're doing, you're wanting to chase after that doesn't want you. The bird is in the cage for a reason, and that cage is protection. So the bird's cage syndrome talks about whenever there's a situation where somebody's having you chase them or a job or whatever, sometimes open the door and say, you're free to leave. You don't want to be in this relationship? You're free to leave. You don't want to work this job? You're free to leave. You don't want to be in this friendship? You're free to leave. Because what you're going to find out is some people complain about the very comfort that God is giving them, wishing for that which looks better on the outside, because on the outside, you see all these freedoms. But there's a reason why that you're in this cage or this protective zone. See, you don't realize there's a cat over there that's hoping you get out one day because he's been waiting to eat you. See, there's some of you right now that God has been protecting from the enemy, but you're so eager to get out because you feel like you're in this bird, this cage syndrome, this bird cage syndrome, that if I could just get out and do these things, then I know I could be a better person. How about maybe God is protecting you from the cat that's ready to eat you? He's protecting you from the devil that's out here ready for you. Because if you leave that comfort zone, see, somebody don't understand what you call a cage is really God's protective comfort zone for you. What you call this cage or this barrier or me being locked in is actually God protecting you. Because let me tell you this, let me say this to you, and I don't know who I need to say this to. People want you when somebody else has you, but the moment you become available, they don't want you. They don't want you. Same with a job. Or everybody don't want to hire you when you hire, but the moment you quit to go somewhere, all of a sudden there's no vacancies. See, God gives us protection. We're the one that choose to leave it because we think we know better. And so when you want that doesn't want you, there's a reason why God has you in certain places. And I'm going to say this to those who right now may be on this bubble of decision, that you feel like you try to make this mass decision or this great decision because something looks greater. I would advise you to sit still and see the salvation of God before you jump out there in your emotions and regret something, because once you do it, you can't undo it. Somebody came on this day just to hear this prophetic warning that you may want to second guess this fleshly decision that you're wanting to make because it looks good. Because we got to remember something. It looks great when you're in the cage. But the moment you get out of the cage and you're free to do all these things that you've been saying you were going to do, now you got to pay the consequences because that protection is no longer there. Who am I talking to that can say, Carrie? Yeah, that part right there, because everything looks great again when you're in the cage. Everything looks great when you can't get to where you think you should be. I'm in my 40s now. I'm in my 50s. I should be further along in life. I am never going to let nobody else drag me down. But it's not so much that anybody drug you down. It's the fact that you were not in a place where you should have been mentally to recognize and to see that which you wanted did not want you. And so what we have a tendency to do is to get mad at individuals and situations versus sit down and say, wait a minute, that's my fault. Anybody today can say, Carrie, as I look over my life, I'm starting to see where my fault came into play in a lot of this stuff, that I'm the culprit. Can anyone attest to that? That you can say, maybe, just maybe, if I had done something differently, then I wouldn't went after what I went after. And I hope I didn't just go out. I had a phone call coming in. So when you look at life now, learn from the experiences of the things we didn't get right. Instead of saying, when I get out, like you're in jail. When you get out of jail, you're going to do all these things. Most time you get out of jail, you're going to have jail still with you because it's your mind. It's the mentality. It's the mindset. You've been institutionalizing your mind to think a certain way. And when you want that which doesn't want you, it's a strong stroke of your ego to say, wait a minute, why am I chasing this thing so hard? It's like, if God really wanted me to have it, and as you said, Carrie, God is a God of flow and ease, then why am I chasing that which always seems to elude me? Maybe it's because I'm never supposed to have it in the first place. And I need to do an inventory check and ask my ego, why are you chasing this? If God wanted you to have it, God said, I withhold no good thing from you. So if God is withholding something from us, it's obvious and evidently it's not a good thing. And when you want that doesn't want you, then that means you're getting ready to choose something that's not going to help you, but it's going to hurt you. Who am I talking to right now? I got to get out of here. But somebody need to hear this. I was sitting here and I'm waiting, and God said, go on and do this video when that which you want doesn't want you. And whatever that what is, I can't answer it for you. The only one that can answer that what is you. But if God is not allowing it to flow with ease, then evidently God is blocking it. And if God is a God that does not lie and says, I won't withhold any good thing from you, and I feel like this thing is being withheld, then maybe I need to check my pride at the door and say, wait a minute, God, thank you for protecting me from that which I cannot see. Thank you for protecting me from that which I want that doesn't want me. Because if I can be honest with you, some things just want you because you have the goods. You have the anointing. You have the substance. It might be that you're about to get used versus get approved. All right, guys. So listen, I hope that helps somebody today. I don't know who it's for. If it's just one person, then I've done my job. I just know to turn on the camera, say what God gives me. And when God says that's it, turn it off. And so God bless you. Hey, Teresa. So if that bless you today, I want you to leave a comment in the section below. Let me know what part of this message touched you. If you're dealing with a cage bird syndrome right now, and you know that you're trying to get out of something that maybe, you know, it's your flesh, and God is saying, yeah, when you get out, you may be leaving the very thing that I put you in to protect you. And one thing I'm going to talk about this week that's been strong in my spirit is timing. God's timing in our lives are vital. And you have to know God's timing. You can have the right situation at the wrong time. I'm going to talk about that. And a lot of times, if you know, I remember that commercial, we will sell no wine before it's time. Meaning when the time is right for something to come forward, it comes forward and it's fruitful. You ever ate fruit that was sold before it was ripe and it's no good? There's no flavor. It's crunchy. It's just not a good substance. That's the same thing when you try to operate before God's timing with that which you deemed a blessing. I'm going to talk about that this week, all right? So take care, guys. It's always good to see you. If you need Odyssey Black, we're just a phone call away to take care of your black car transportation needs. All right? And until I talk to you again here, have a blessed one. Leave a comment in the section below. Let me know how this bless you. Or maybe it didn't bless you. Or maybe you have a question. But whatever it is, leave me a comment, all right? Take care now. Bye-bye.